enormous barrier.
I'll take you on. Your time's run out. Let's have some fun.
If y'all want to scrap that bad,
Eat this. Earthlight.
let's put that +5 ATS to use.
I'm all fired up. Sucker. You'll pay for that. This'll hurt. What's the matter? Scared? Earthlight. Strike you up.
Activating skill.
Sucker. You're down.
You thought it was already end of stream time? Yeah, I can see why you would
This'll
think that.
hurt. Earthlight. It's over.
Activating skill.
I'd say the first hour went by pretty quickly. There's a lot of shopping though. I didn't really do anything. That's how it's done. Almost feel sorry for the bastards in hindsight. Almost. Gotta be pretty wet behind the ears to pick a fight with the immovable and not know what they're getting into. Goes to show why the Taito school still got its rep. It's lost some of its luster from back in the day, alas. Central Dojo closed down 10 years ago after Master Ryuga passed. Now it hangs on by a thread, split between several disparate dojos. Speaking of those, got something on your mind? I remember you liked to go visit those rinky-dink dojos every now and then to train with the disciples. Why not take up the mantle and revive the Taito school upright? You ever think of doing that? Can't imagine anyone would have a problem with you taking the reins. I'd love to see that as much as anyone, believe me, but I don't think I'm cut out to lead the whole school like that. And I can't just shirk my duty as a bracer to chase some pipe dream of mine. Maybe once I'm retired, I'll give it some thought. True, Guild probably can't afford to lose somebody as high up as you. Given everything going on right now, yeah. You flatter me. I can't take all the credit, though. You really held your own in that fight back there. Got a lot of oddball moves in your arsenal. I can tell you're trained in Kunlun, clear as day. Must have a heck of a master to be able to fight like that. Heck of a master is right. He went and wasted his talent on a punk like me. Couldn't even repay him for everything he did. Oh, you don't say. Could he me? Anyway, let's keep moving. Our destination should be further in. I have no idea who he's talking about. Could he
What will
me?
it be?
Oh, you got some lemon bomb cookie? Prices are a little high. That's for Elaine. Sorry, Elaine. You're not worth 3,000.
I'll be seeing you.
Oh, I've got some fine wares for sale.
Classic coin.
Ha! Best come again. Oh, I've got some fine wares for sale. Ha! Best come again soon.
Look at all these counterfeit paintings. I guess this person is the source of all of my painting woes.
Welcome. Thank you for coming.
I had just bought upgrades. These are not insane upgrades.
We await your next visit.
We'll do that. And then we'll flip you with that.
Let's talk if you've got a minute. Don't take too long to decide now. Come back soon.
I'm curious. Can I get someone else to heal me? No.
Not this one. I don't sense any chi. They must not be here.
Who in the hell are you talking about?
Talking about cheat?
Boss is gonna yell at
You're kidding me, right? Sorry to hold things up.
How delightful it is to see you, Mr. Arkwright. And you as well, Immovable.
You sure took your sweet-ass time. Didn't expect Arkwright to be with you, though.
I'm just here to do him a favor. But if I'd known we were coming to see scumbags like you, I'd have turned him straight down. Come on now, no need to be like that. I knew you were in Calvard, but it's hard to believe it's been 2 years since I last saw your face. Walter? Who's this other guy sitting at the table? Not since Jormungandr. Huh? Bugged the heck out of me. We weren't able to use that chance to settle the score between us. Same here. So I'm sure it's no coincidence I was suddenly able to meet you so easily. I spoke to these two before you showed up, but meetups like this, here and there, ain't such a bad idea with how little we know about those guys. I see now. We're all after Almada, so we're here to trade information on them. Didn't think I'd chance into a gathering this major, so who's our imposing friend?
I ask that you proceed as though I am not present. Think of me as a random traveler who happened to be here when you arrived.
That just happens to be listening in on our conversation and is breathing the same air that I'm breathing. That's asking a lot. Though the coat and you being part of this group gives me an idea of who you're affiliated with. To kick this thing off, it's proving impossible to even learn more about Almada at this point. Heard a report the other day that a bracer on an undercover op on them still hasn't come back. We have been in much the same position ever since the situation in Longport. Not long ago, a cold-blooded warning video was sent to our Council of Elders, the kind meant to serve as an example. They just keep getting worse. We've had nothing like that on our end, but there is one guy up top who can't seem to wipe the smile off his face since they cropped up. He's one real suckafoo, so if he likes them, you know they're real monsters. I don't know who that could be. Sounds to me like we all think we're better off crushing them before they become even more of a headache. This guy, he the one you mentioned a while back.
I've got a list of questions from the Oathbreaker, so start running your mouth, or I'll run my fist through your face.
I don't know who the Oathbreaker is. Doesn't sound like an Anguis, but I think there's one or two Anguises we don't actually know who they are. The infamous fourth Anguis, huh? Doesn't quite sit right. Oh, okay, then there's our answer. I don't know who the fourth Anguis is. I imagine our definitions of crush differ here, but at least we know where we all stand now. Save for our friend keeping his cards to his chest there, anyway. Sounds like the CID's up to something, too. Still, wish I could figure out just what their boss is thinking. Old Rocksmith's successor, huh? Heard some colorful rumors about him myself. But knowing he's turned a blind eye to a hole like this makes him all right in my book. Indeed, President Rocksmith was a broad-minded fellow in his own right. But the current president has proven even more receptive toward us. Some of the elders are rather fond of him. Though that does also make him a far more formidable foe during negotiations. From our perspective, the president's willingness to work with you guys is one giant flapping red flag. Oh, do not misunderstand. All of our cooperative efforts are in line with your guild's code. Heaven forbid otherwise. Can you guys not probe each other while I'm stuck right in the middle? Feel like I don't even need to be here anymore. Easy, Arkride. Your part's just about to come up.
Walter.
Ha! It ain't often we get a chance like this, and you can't pick a better place. You weren't satisfied with how we ended 2 years ago either. So what say we pick it up where we left off? Right here, right now.
Sounds like a plan.
Wait, you saw this coming, didn't you? Heck no, I ain't here to watch two monsters beating the crap out of
Who
us.
said you'd watch? You and White Orchid Dragon are joining. Come on. Exchange info, exchange blows. Either way, we're getting to know each other.
I admit to some reluctance standing between combatants of your caliber. But I am also not one to pass up a chance to face Mr. Arkride and the famed Jin the Immovable.
Well, you should be.
Sorry, Arkride, but this is just how it's gotta be.
Nah, man. I can just bounce.
We'd lose sight of ourselves if it was just one-on-one. And who knows how much damage we'd cause then.
You're in the Black Light District. Who cares? You're a sucker fool.
I shall act as observer. Fight to your heart's content.
You're so up for this. You're welcome to my spot, you know.
Perhaps another time.
Ready? Begin!
I'm not at full HP.
Try not to bore me, all right?
Don't hold anything back now. All right.
A good chance for a sharp boost.
I'm controlling you.
Oh, is that all you got?
Like hell you are! Bring it on! You've got this. Here goes. Your move, Jin!
A good chance for a sharp boost. Displaying data.
The hell's the matter, huh?
Energy output maximum.
Oh, maybe I should have
Is that all you got?
seen what he can do.
Going all in.
Yeah, maybe I should have waited on that. Oh well.
Activating skill.
Behold, the fists of the immovable. You ain't seen nothing.
You're making me get serious.
Boost gauge limit removed.
Missing blade. You'll pay for that. The hell's the matter, huh? This'll hurt. Dice you up. Now we're talking.
Oh.
Well done.
I was about to ready to, like I wasn't even at my full strength.
And you still won't accept that S-rank promotion. Why the hell not?
I'm just not ready for it. My Taito skills have nothing to do with it. Though it'll sure give me a boost in confidence if I can beat you here.
Oh yeah? Will it now?
Oh, what the heck are you? Hold on a sec. This is looking real bad. I gotta scram. I can't move. Yeah, there is no stopping this. I'm honored to bear witness.
That is enough.
Well then. You're...
Kilika!
You got here quick, and here I was hoping we could duke it out a little longer.
I figured you'd have a lot of catching up to do, so I thought to give you some space. A mistake on my part, I see. Are you a future S-rank bracer and a society enforcer, or are you infants?
They can be both.
Oh, wait a minute! This was all his fault!
Don't give me that. You were all gung-ho until she showed up, buddy.
Looking more and more like infants from where I'm standing. What a shame. I was rather looking forward to seeing that to its end. You're a force to be reckoned with, Flying Swallow. It's good to see you, Spriggan. I see Zin is causing trouble yet again. For you, Sao, are you sure it's alright for you to be out of Crossbell after your promotion to president? Worry not, I foisted all responsibility there to Yin in the SSS. Guy has no shame. Looks like you brought more suspicious folks to the party.
What? You got a problem with us, punk?
Yeah, I got a problem with you, punk.
So you're the Spriggan of the Republic. But personally, I think of you as the dropout of the Conlone School.
Wait, are you?
Now, Celise. It's not good to pick fights with him when you've only just met. Even if he is a shady piece of human waste from Adios knows where who can't figure out which half of the moral fence he's standing on.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Well, even I wasn't trying to be that harsh.
Curious.
Still, I see it was worth our while to come down here. Who knew a battle between the Society's finest Eastern martial artist and a student of one of the 3 great schools would be waiting for us? But perhaps the greatest surprise of all is seeing you.
Thought you were acting kind of funny lately. But finding out you're all buddy-buddy with the Society is one thing I didn't see coming.
I haven't the faintest idea what you're talking about. I am a mere traveler who chanced upon this place and its current company. Nothing more. I ask that you pay me no mind, Mother Celise, Father Leon.
You're not even trying to hide it.
You are quite the interesting fellow, Vice Captain.
Must have been a hard job bringing a couple of runts like them down here.
I thought they would make a fine match for you. We do have an agreement right now, after all.
Who are you calling a couple of runts? You sure can run your mouth dire well, but don't go getting cocky.
That's definitely a church sword. Yeah, I'm gonna say that's a church sword. I don't think you're Graal's Ritter, but you're something Ritter, probably.
How about I show you and that hardhead what I can really do?
Yeah? With what, Missy? That sword? Sure you're gonna be swinging it and not the other way around?
That's a great retort.
How'd a teeny bopper like you even get that damn...
I'm 27.
Huh?
I said I'm 27. Any questions?
Huh. Well, I guess some guys are into that kind of thing.
You are so dead.
You had to step on a landmine. She hates when people talk about her little baby face and impressively short height.
Also dead.
I'll leave this crap to you, Arkwright.
Why me? I have a feeling I know where these three are from.
Oh, there he is!
Guys?
Van! Wait, huh?
How did they find us?
Sao? What kind of crazy party is this?
Well, if it isn't Aaron, how do you even find this place? I thought I threw you off my tail.
This is what happens when you only keep people half in the loop.
Oh my gosh. Elaine. I didn't think you'd wander down here too. Wait, isn't she one and only Beauty's Blade? But the woman next to her...
I happened to run into them during their search for you. I did have my doubts on whether to bring them here or not, but as you can see... Well, in any case, I had a feeling you were here.
Elaine is such a bad influence. Like... Zin... It's one of those things where Van is like, hey, I'm gonna go handle some business, you know? Y'all disperse, go do your thing, and I'm gonna go do my thing. And Elaine is like, what? Zin and Van went to go do something on their own? Okay, children and Rosette, we're gonna go to the dangerous, most scariest place in the entire city because they have to be there. It's like, what is going on? Just like, can people not go do their own thing, you know? Ridiculous.
My apologies. I had no idea what we were getting ourselves into.
You were getting yourself into Van's business.
But now that I see it, this place certainly does pique my interest.
None of y'all need to be here. None of y'all are gonna add anything to this conversation other than spiking up the talking time. Well, I was gonna bring you down here at some point, but what's with you beating me to it, Elaine? You're the ones who's constantly harping about keeping them out of danger. You're going senile. We're used to danger. And besides, I see some other kids down here too. I know that you have our best interest at heart, but no one likes being kept at arm's length forever. I was just gonna go handle my own business. Sorry for all the trouble this ended up causing, man. But hey, it ended up being a good chance to teach him about this place, no? Oh, please, don't start acting like you did nothing wrong. I'll say, I have some choice words for you too, Zin. You didn't think to discuss your coming here with anyone else. Quite the arrogant move on your part. You discussed it with me. Suckle. Well, fun's over. I've had enough of being here. Today was more about saying hi anyway. I've done what I came for. Oh my gosh. And now, not only do they crash the party, but they also kill the vibe and the conversation, and now everybody's just gonna go move on to what they were doing. You know, guess how much information we exchanged here? Nothing. We will see each other again at some point, even if the only other place I can imagine that happening is your prison cell. Well, kind strangers, if you would excuse me. Yeah, that's enough hellos. Sorry for making you show us down here, Chief. We're out of here. See you all around sometime. Wouldn't be surprised if we met again, though that depends on what A does. Oh my gosh.
Well, now that the air has calmed down a touch, perhaps those of us who remain might continue sharing information?
Man, you never change.
Now we're only sharing... Come on! All the interesting people left. Sounds like there's no room for doubt then. Armada's got some other organization working for him. So it would appear. Their funding is at least partly coming from those who funded the racial terrorism of the past, too. That's awful. Ben was telling us about that not too long ago. Our company's risk assessment led us to the same conclusion. Up until a few years ago, racially motivated attacks on those of Eastern and Central Eastern descent were all too common. They were known to be orchestrated by white supremacist groups who traced their origins back to the Old Kingdom. But the situation changed significantly when a rather large group attacked the trade conference in Crossbelt 4 years ago. Fortunately, we were able to quell the situation thanks to an insurance policy we had in place. And as soon as the crisis was put to rest, the former president started an aggressive crackdown on those groups. You didn't hear much from them after that. Then the post-war reparations put the entire issue on the back burner. Not to say they've disbanded, however. If anything, the economic prosperity provided an ideal cover for them to continue in secret. And now their cover is coming to an end, bringing the issue of them to the surface once again. Well, I don't know how those Sakafus are tied to Armada, but if they've got all those fat stacks at their disposal, that explains how they got so big so fast. Yeah, and with that kind of mirror, they could bring people on the outside into the fold, like the group Melchior and the new puppeteer come from. A group able to wipe out a high-ranking company of Jaegers single-handedly and likely with special abilities at their disposal. So they are from the Gardens. I am thoroughly unsurprised you've heard of them. Few have, even in the criminal underworld. What's the Gardens? Well, it's a place where Cyanesis hangs out. Is it some kind of group? Plant assassin. They're a criminal organization that's of a different breed to mafias like Armada. They don't have much in common with the society either, mind. We first learned of their existence 9 years ago. Their modus operandi is gathering orphans and giving them a first-class education in assassination. Dang, didn't know stuff like that was even real. Unfortunately, it very much is. Their members are few in number, but they complete their missions with startling success. This reminds me of something. There's a video game that I've played where, or maybe it was a TV show, I don't know. It reminds me of something where basically this, like, kids are grabbed off the streets and they're trained to be assassins. I don't know, maybe it's more than one thing. 'Cause I'm thinking of something else that wasn't what I was thinking of. The organization is divided into several groups called Gardens, with each being led by an overseer. We are aware of their presence at Marduk as well. Their threat level is considered to be S+. Oh. But you labeled the leader of Armada as SS+, I believe. Internally, it was at one point believed that most unresolved assassinations were their handiwork. Yeah, you can imagine the headaches when we even had another group trying to mimic their playbook. Still, their name hasn't cropped up very much over the past couple years. Not since the overseer of the Garden of Swords was taken out by 2 members who fled the organization. Oh wow. I feel like I've read that story somewhere before. What is it, Dan? Nothing. Anyway, now we know that the group of monsters is working with Almada. Still a mystery how they ended up that way. Same with how they wound up with all that terrorist funding. But maybe a more pressing question is why they're working together. True. They've got 3 of the worst tiles that exist. Just a matter of working out what hand they're going for. You a Mahjong player too? I mean, you're right. We're gonna need to focus on that going forward. Indeed, albeit in our own unique ways, no doubt. Well, I believe we've had enough discussions for one day. What? We have literally discussed one thing. And Van was the one that brought it up. They're from the garden. And then we explained what the garden was, and then we're just leaving it at that? Still, it seems clear there's more room for negotiations between us than some other groups going forward. I am most humbled you are including us in that. Well, I don't know about you and Gien, but Heiwei has its moderates too, like fun. Take it we can include you guys in that too, Arkride. Goes without saying. Heck, we're the common thread between all of you. And you're just gonna keep using us as a bridge between you anyways. You got that right. So we would, but of course. Stop being so in sync. See, it didn't take you long to adjust to life in the capital. Just bear in mind that Lady Ashen is rather worried about you back in Longport. Do try to exercise restraint in your daily life. Man, she could stand to chill out a little, and you should be the one checking in on home more often. How's Shin doing, by the way? He's been abroad in Remiferia for half a year now, right? I believe he is doing rather well. He attends a distinguished middle school there and is blessed with many good friends. I think that was the kid. If so, I've been wondering like what his role is and how important he is. Come to think of it, Chief, I know you go way back with him in the Direwolf, but I would have figured Renee would handle this kind of thing. That's right. Smart guy you and Elaine grew up with, yeah? He's actually quite occupied with another case for us. As for what that case is, you will soon see. That's sure an ominous way of putting it. And she's one of the more reasonable ones, too. Why can't the CID be staffed by more normal people? Forgive me for saying so, but you're a fine one to talk. Yeah, I can't believe you came to a place like this without us. Kinda pisses me off I let you shake me in the first place, but that's in the past now. So, just what is this place? Called the Black Light District. It's the city's unofficial 13th district, and its dark side. A lawless zone that changes location from time to time, and that few cops dare to tread. It's home to criminals of every kind. Good place for them to get together, too. To think that all this time, such a place was right under my nose. You know, I feel like Abby said something about it to me before. I was aware of its existence, but this is my first time seeing it in person. It looks to be a combination of multiple underground areas that went unused during the city's urban planning. Good spot to hang out. We had to walk through a whole darn maze just to get here. Underground coliseum and contraband as far as the eye can see. It's like it was made for me. Bars. Well, too late to do anything about it now that you're here. I'm gonna guess people stayed away because you had a lane, but people are always getting into scuffles around here. Let me teach you how to speak this district's language. Wait, we had Zin the Immovable, S-rank Calvardi Embracer, top dog of the top dogs, more well-known than Beauty's Blade and all that, and people still wanted to scrap with us. But when it came down to Beauty's Blade and a bunch of children, they're like, nah, that's just stepping over the line too much. That little child over there, she's 13 years old, might be a Jaeger. We'll take a tour while we do, but just keep your eyes peeled, all right? Right, of course. I'm down. Understood. Let's save.
What'll it be?
And ourselves a lucky calling.
Come again.
Proceeding to neutralize.
You're in for it now. Ah, let's I like their spunk.
If we must. Time to go all out.
Sucker! A chance! Too fly!
Is this the same ones? I think they look a little bit different.
Follow you now. Leave this to me.
I'll smash you.
Like hell you are!
A chance. Here goes. No. Ben.
Too slow! It's go time! Have some more!
Sure you guys have figured it out, but the Black Light District ain't exactly the kind of place you visit for fun. Aaron's another story, but the rest of you make easy pickings for scumbags and lowlives hacking it down here. You don't come down here by yourselves, understood? Yeah, I get what you mean. Things can get really dicey if you get surrounded here. But if you bring a buddy along, I bet it'd make for a fun fight. Well, ideally, you wouldn't be fighting in a city at all. Still, I didn't realize there were so many people like that down here. Yep, pretty spooky when you think about it. This world here is a lot closer to yours than you might be comfortable with. It is, but honestly, I'm just more surprised this all existed right under my nose. At least it's surprising to someone as well-to-do as me. Perhaps I'm just not very aware of my surroundings. You'd think this would be something of a problem, but it's like everyone just turns a blind eye to it. I hear ya, Blacklight's a lawless place, but they have their own rules instead. The big one being, you don't drag innocent civilians into your messes down here. Most tend to follow that, so they'll leave you alone, keyword being most. Some of them step out of line, like we just saw. Reminds me of Hayway's own code. Do you visit here often, Mr. Arkride? You seem to be rather well informed about this area. I check in from time to time. There's intel down here that you can't find anywhere else. And as you guys might have noticed by now, it's a good place to sharpen your street smarts. Yeah, I totally get what you mean. That's gotta be, like the best part of this whole trip. And Jaeger born and bred, ain't ya?
Well, Wow, hey, gorgeous. All my stuff is to die for.
Dynamite Cola. A wild burger. An untamed hamburger stacked with patties.
Sure are See you later, bars in this place.
They are likely the only sources of refuge for the people here.
Ooh, you look dangerous.
A viper bite? Wow, this is expensive.
I'd better see you again.
Items. Only a 4%. I think I'll keep the green pendulum for now.
Hey, mister, what'll you have today?
Toast? Ooh, I think I wanted to give an accessory that had accuracy to somebody. I might keep that.
Strange proceed. They're all specially made. Always be careful when and how much you use.
Very nice thing to say from a drug lord. You know? Moderation, please.
Cool! There's a match going on right now!
It's some kind of arena? Nice.
Yep, this here's where they're this here's where they hold fighting tournaments. You go in and beat the crap out of each other. Makes for a gambling hotbed, as you can imagine. Oh, color me intrigued. Oh, that's awesome. Sounds like an amazing place to train. Yeah, no, literally anything goes in there. Roids, mods, explosives, you name it. It ain't the place to train. It's straight up blood sport in there. The organizers will even come up with crap reasons to make you fight monsters and archaisms. Even if you survive all the stuff they throw at you, it really ain't worth it. Just stay clear of it, alright? That's fair. Sounds like you really have to be on your toes in there. Pretty decent prize money if you win, though. I'll give them that much credit. It's one way to make ends meet down here. Mr. Arkwright, you're not speaking from experience, are you? That stuff ain't my scene. Well, not anymore, I mean. Bars. Look, they were hard times, okay? That bastard paid for a new truck, but he didn't pay for all the mods like the previous one had. Whatever you say, Chief. Next time you decide to enter, let me know so I can put my money on you. Heck no, I ain't setting foot in that cesspit again. Toast is the specialty of the underground. Yeah, I mean, you can get lots of bread. The white croquet monsieur. If there's any shops up here. I kind of want to enter into this tournament. Did I visit that shop? I don't know if I did.
I'm so lost. I don't know which way is which anymore.
No need to fret. I have this area all mapped out.
Telling you, she's a robot. He's already scanned the area and found all its weak spots.
Guess I'll check out the arena. I don't think I've seen you before.
Well, you know what I just realized? We haven't checked any bulletin boards here. Don't sweat that. As a rule, I don't take I don't take 4 SPGs from anybody down here. Why not? There are a lot of people here who could use some help, aren't there? For real, nobody down here is exactly innocent, so I can't imagine any of them being able to go to the cops or bracers for help. That's the problem. There are some rare exceptions, but almost everyone down here has a checkered past in some way. Ultimately, I can't trust them not to abuse the system. Worst case scenario, I get farmed out as a grunt for some real sketchy stuff. Not worth it. It does make sense, given Spriggan's reputation for assisting in legally gray matters. You can see how a bad faith actor might exploit them for their own gain, and how society at large would offer little to defend them. To be clear, I already make a point of filtering out those garbage posts to start with. More than anything else, it'd just be a giant time sink trying to vet requests from these parts. That's the biggest reason I don't bother. Much as some folks might think otherwise, I don't deal with criminals. I deal with people who have complicated problems. You accepted a request from Hayway. That is literally a criminal organization. When somebody has a problem they can't rely on the law or the guild to solve, they come to me. That's all there is to it. That's Van for you. What can I say? It's worked for me so far. Must be doing something right. End of the day, if someone here really wants my services, they're not completely out of luck. They've got 2 options. They can post a 4 SPG in another part of town, or they can come talk to me. Same as anybody else, really. Doesn't mean I'll agree to help, but I'll hear them out at least. That's our boss, always trying to keep the door open. After leaving the district, they made their way to the surface, following a different route. It's already this late, and we were down there a while. Connects to the Riverside district, too. Feels like waking up from a dream. Guess it was all a bit too much for a kid. Speaking of kids, seems like that boy we ran into is is the son of a Jaeger. What are you talking about? I really liked it down there. Shady criminals excluded. It was like a conflict could break out at any second. A perfect place for training. Not this again. At least it hadn't fully descended into anarchy, even if the rules were somewhat lax. It seemed like a good place to procure goods and materials you can't get on the surface. Yeah, don't want anyone getting hooked on the place, but use it when you need to. Just follow the rules. That goes for you in particular, Aaron. You okay, Anez? You're awfully quiet. No, I'm perfectly fine. Just a lot to take in. I'm feeling a bit of culture shock, I suppose. Can hardly blame you. I'm sorry, I was probably making you feel even worse with how carried away I was getting. Well, you don't need to feel responsible. Just to be honest, I've got something else on my mind, too. It does kind of feel like something's been eating at you lately. Worried about things at school. Yes, actually, there's a major opportunity coming up that I was considering opting into. But I think I've decided against it. There's nothing more it can teach me that I haven't learned already, after all. Oh?
Our information did not lead us astray, I see.
The sucklefool.
It's good to see you all, my friends.
That it is.
Where did you get this information exactly? Like, ah yes. Van Arkwright and his retinue are going to exit at this specific point in the town, which is the exit to the Blacklight District. Your Highness. Najee. Alright, talk about showing up unexpected. Well, this is what the chief was talking about.
Correct. His Highness and I have something to discuss with you. Please, climb in.
How does Kincaid know what Van meant by this is what the chief was talking about? We could be talking about a chieftain from a Nord tribe or something like that. Car has no windows? Nah, they just untinted the windows to talk. So spacious in here. And here's an Etois stretch limo, right? Heck of a luxury. Ride smooth. 2. Why do people say that? Ride smooth too. Still room to move up in the world, huh? The suspension systems in a luxury vehicle like this versus my pickup are built for totally different things. Speaking of, I take it you liked the part I sent you. I got it on special order to ensure it didn't clash with the aesthetic of your truck. Oh, like undersells it. It's a thing of beauty. Even if that ulterior motive behind sending it wasn't just in my head. Still, I'm glad you're both looking well. What? Why would Anya's just cut in right there and be like, well, I'm glad you guys are doing well. Like, what the heck? Thank you, my apologies again for all the trouble we caused you. We weren't expecting to see you all again so soon either. But we were already here for a visit with the president, so the timing happened to line up. What? Oh, that Gramhart guy. Didn't see anything about a meeting on the news. Some kind of secret talks. Needn't concern yourself with details that are on a need-to-know basis. Well, we are living in crazy times. No doubt there's plenty for our leaders to be talking about. Much as it bugs me that you've clearly got something besides that you want to dump on us. Guys see what's going on now?
I'm sure you do. We invited you here in the hopes of hiring you. This is a joint request from Elsheim and the CID.
I just want to throw it out there, like, don't governments and government organizations have anything else better to do than to contact this underworld fixer to do a job? You know, don't these governments and government entities have employees that they pay to do these jobs? I'm committing to nothing, but keep going.
The short of it is, we'd like you to go on another trip for us. To the home of the Verne Company, the city of Basel in the southwest.
They know this underworld fixer is the MC, and he's a good tool. I guess when you know someone's a main character, you gotta use that to your advantage. Mr. JRPG, up to this point in the Trails mythos, do we know who the fourth Anguis is? The Oath Breaker? They were talking about that a little bit earlier, and I don't remember who that is, if I'm supposed to remember who that is. That's Calvard's biggest orbment manufacturer, isn't it? We do not. All right. This sounds like a big one.
If you could take a look at the screen.
Y'all got a screen too?
Basel is an industrial city that is home to both the Verne Group's HQ and the Basel Institute of Science. Its artisanal district dates back to the Middle Ages, and it is surrounded by an abundance of nature. Our problem is that as of late, the city's orbital network has become unstable. In addition, suspicious individuals have been sighted leaving and entering the city.
Don't tell me it's... I know what you're thinking, but we can't assume that until we have all the facts, of which we have very little. Under normal circumstances, we would be well informed of the situation, as our country has deep ties with the Institute. Unfortunately, its director, who also happens to be Vern's CEO, has been notably unforthcoming as of late. That's strange. Isn't your country one of Vern's largest shareholders? Yes, it is. We are not their principal shareholder, but we still wield a considerable influence over the company. And in spite of that fact, the CEO has been emphatically vague in response to our questions. We suspect he is merely buying time. For what, though, I do not know. But his sudden shift in behavior indicates he's hiding something, hence my request to you. You're not giving me much to work with here. And if you're looking for technical experts, you've come to the wrong place. Oh, I beg to differ. After all, you have one of Marduk's very own concierges in your employ. Also, a little birdie told me you're testing some revolutionary new technology at present. Oh, you mean that Simu thingy? Still undergoing testing, but we plan to reveal it to the public eventually. Good to hear. I'll most certainly be looking forward to it. Anyhow, if we took our request to the guild, it'd land at the bottom of their list of priorities, given that no civilian casualties have occurred. I feel like this exact sentence was somewhere else in this game. Also, much like the police, they're as wary as a fox with these sorts of mysteries. Right, and if we're on the job, we can deal with any problems that you'd rather keep away from the public eye. The conditions are fair, but you better be willing to pay top mirror for our services or you can count us out. I still don't get it, like, for example, Erebonia has their own, like, military police. Then they have the Iron Bloods. Then they have their own intelligence network. And then they have, like, the provincial armies and things like that. Like, there are people under the government employ that you would task with doing jobs like this. And even just going as far as what we've seen in Calvard so far, there's an organization called the CID. And they're a bunch of spies and information people. Like, they would be perfect for this. Go do some spy stuff. Figure out what's going on. Why are you hiring some random scrub off the streets? You know? Well, you needn't worry there. If anything, that makes you more trustworthy in my book. It's not a fact. Well, I think we should definitely consider taking this on, especially if Amada is involved. Okay, first of all, we don't know if Amada is involved, Fairy. Second of all, you don't make the decisions. If possible, I'd like to ask one thing before we agree to take this on. Anez, you don't get a say in this. You work for Van. Not the other way around. What's the CID's connection to this case? You haven't been upfront about that. Oh? Ever the sharp one. Vern and the Institute are currently part of two national projects. One of them is for making the Zypha standard available to the general public, both at home and abroad. Technology is a national secret, so our involvement should be no surprise. Makes sense. Gotta stay on top of any leaks and scandals so they don't slip through the cracks. Oh, sounds like that's already failed. About the other project. Classified. Well, come on. Boo. Even I don't know the specifics there, so I'm in the same boat as you all. I did try pressing the president for details, but he simply wouldn't budge. Apologies, but that's all the more reason why I cannot divulge any information about the project. Point is, there are many reasons for our involvement. All sounds fishy, but whatever, get on with it. As you wish, the issue of the Zypha standards funding source also needs to be addressed. And I will delegate that task to your group's chief and concierge. Huh? What do you mean? Since when did you become my boss? Fine, I'll explain. Zypha, being Vern's 6th generation combat orbment, is common knowledge at this point. But there's a little known fact about the project's humble beginnings. It got a massive capital injection from an interested party. And that party just so happens to be the Valis Investment Bank, which, as it so happens, is also the largest shareholder of Marduk, my employer. I see. Sure feels like I'm hearing the name Valis a lot lately. Valis, oh, as in the city-state. Correct. It's a giant port city in the Central East. It may not have much land, but through trade in the South Sea, its people amassed a great fortune, which they are investing all over the continent. They're both our allies and our competitors. The Valis Investment Bank is owned by them. So you're trying to drag us into a Central Eastern turf war, all so we can be your eyes and ears. Well, I guess they could be sending in their own spies, especially with state-level secrets up for grabs. In short, you want us to investigate a highly complex situation from a neutral standpoint and get to the bottom of what's happening there. Does that about sum it up? I'll give you an 85 for that answer. In the event that Valis attempts to interfere, we would also like you to act as a mediator. You've got this all mapped out. Mediation is not one of our specialties, unfortunately, so I'm not certain if we are your best option for that. On the contrary, I think you are all our safest bet on that front. Should you take our request, you will stay in Basel for 3 days. I'm sure there will be other 4 SPGs you can juggle at the same time. How do you know we're going to be there for 3 days? Like, you think it's going to take us 3 days to investigate this? What if it takes us 5 days? What if it takes us 6 weeks? You know, I'm confused. Can't expect you to leave at once, but it would be best if you departed within the next few days. Wait. Alright, we'll give it some thought when we get back. Can't make any promises. I understand. We won't be out of options if you refuse. The CID never puts all its eggs in one basket. Regardless, everything we've told you is strictly confidential. Though I think a rather unexpected issue might work in our favor here. After that, Prince Sharid and Kincaid saw them back to their office. Once they arrived, they enjoyed dinner at Montmartre, before gathering to discuss the Crown Prince's request.